Welcome back to another episode of Faith First Business. Today we are speaking with Benecia Ponder, who is a story coach and book publishing mentor to inspirational authors. These are faith-driven creators who share their God-given gifts and life experiences through powerful stories that inspire and impact lives. Benecia is the award-winning author of 6 books and has helped hundreds of entrepreneurs make a bigger difference and more profit by getting their stories out of their hearts and onto the page to impact and inspire the people that they are called to serve. With more than 2 decades of passionate experience helping storytellers go all the way from outlining to publication, Benecia loves to speak, teach, and motivate entrepreneurs in their writing journey. Let's listen in. Benecia, we are so excited to have you with us. Thanks for coming on the show today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited. I'm excited about this interview.
Yeah, I want to dive into all the things and talk about the latest book that you have out. But let's start with just sharing with the viewers what exactly is a story coach and what do you help people do?
Ooh, that's a good question. So, as a story coach, I help people to get their stories out of their head and onto the page. Um, I believe that we all have stories. We all have those messages that God has given us, that the experiences that we've had, our character, our personality, our gifts, our talents, all of those combined inside of us, their talents, their gifts that God has placed within us. And as a story coach, I help you to bring those out. I help you to use what God has placed inside of you to help shine a light for others. And so I do that by helping you to write your story, by understanding the power of your story, and really leveraging your story to make a bigger impact in the world.
I love that. It's so important because I feel like we're in such a time where voices are trying to be silenced.
Yes.
And so I love that that you're helping people to get their stories out, get their voices heard. I think a lot of times when we talk about voices being heard, we just think of like people on stages, but it's so
Mm,
much more than that. That your story can come out in multiple different ways. And for some of us, it's smaller audiences, right? We may stay with just a few people our whole life, but we really get to pour into those people. And then other people who tell their stories, they are the ones up on the big stage and have the best-selling books. So I love that um just as a coach that you're just like everybody has a story and it needs to come out.
yes. Yes. That's the message I have been standing on for a while
Mm,
now. The world needs your story now. Um, and it's so true because, as you said, so many efforts are being to silence our voices or to make our voices seem the same as everyone else.
mhm,
We're trying to compare, we're trying to conform, but it's, it's our unique stories, our unique perspectives. It's like our fingerprint. Like no one else has the stories that we have. No one else has the message or the purpose that God has given to us. And so if we don't share them, the world misses out on something amazing, and there are people who are waiting. There are people uh, who are just needing what we have, and when we don't share it, I mean, it just causes so much of a ripple effect that we can't even imagine. We can't even fathom the purpose that God has placed in us, and when we hold our stories back, when we hold our message back, we are truly affecting um, that impact that God wants us to have.
yeah, absolutely. He's designed each of us
Yes.
uniquely. Yeah,
Mhm.
there's no two alike. I love that. Well, let's go back a little bit to younger you. Like, how did you get started in writing? Was that something that developed early in life, or did that come later? Or
Well, I've always been a reader.
Okay.
When I was younger, my mom and dad, my first school was my grandmother. And even before I could talk or anything, she read to me every single day, like 15 books a day. She had like these small little books and we get more and more and more. But the love of reading, um, and story and all of that were instilled in me at a very, very young age. And so reading and understanding um, how to share and, all of that was from the very beginning. As I grew older, um, I wanted to do more of a traditional kind of thing. I wanted to do something that would make money or people would see as um, mm, some kind of status. The words, I'm trying to think of the words to use, but um, as I grew older, it was more of trying to fit into like a mold of what I thought success looked like. And it wasn't until I reclaimed my purpose, if you will, that I came back to that love of reading and writing as well. Um, it just flowed naturally out of when I decided, okay, God, I'm listening to you. I'm going to do what you've called me to do. Then the writing started to flow. I've written books of my own, and then people started asking me to help them write their books, and it just it just flowed from there. I think the origin of writing, um, it just really came from my purpose and being able to fulfill that.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that when God gives that desire, right? And we say yes. And we just, acknowledge that's from you and
Mhm.
that's my purpose and that's what I'm going to do. Then everything just kind of comes into alignment.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that. Do you find it difficult to write? I know you've written 6 books now. When you sit down to write, does it just kind of flow out, or do you ever get writer's block?
I don't necessarily believe in writer's block because I think we all
Mm,
um, have the ability to flow with our writing. I think when we are stalled in our writing, it is because we are trying to make it perfect, or we're trying to write what we think we should write instead of letting it flow. And yes, I still, from the first book to my most recent book, I experienced that moment when it's like, am I supposed to write this? Is this what
mm.
people want to hear? And I got caught all up in my head, um, changing things and worrying about whether this is the right title. Is this the right paragraph here? Is this the right word here? What do I want to say in this sentence? So I think that that's something when you're passionate about it, when you are called to serve in any kind of capacity, the butterflies, if you will, I don't think they ever go away. It's about leaning into them and realizing, okay, this is where I am, and using tools. So one of the things that I make sure that I do with every book, with every whether it's my book or a client's book, is to make sure I have those tools handy to go back to when I get in that moment. Those tools to remind me, hey, this is what you want to do, Benicia. This is what God has called you to do. These are the words He's called you to share, and one of those tools is just quiet time. Sometimes just to sit back and not write for a second, and allow him to speak to me about what he has for me. And then from there, um, the floodgates are open and it begins to flow.
Yeah, I love that. Just reconnecting with your
Yeah.
why you're writing, why you said yes,
Mhm.
why this is the book to do now. Right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, there's so many layers to the why. Why am I doing it? And I've found that for myself as well. Um, just in business, um, returning back to the why. when things feel
Mhm.
stuck or stalled or hard, going back to, okay, God, remind me, why are we doing
Mhm.
this?
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
I love it. Well, your latest book is titled Let Your Light Shine, Turn on Your Power to Impact and Inspire with Your Story. Talk to us about that why. Why was it so important for you to write this one now?
Mm, it goes back to my two favorite passages of scripture. The first is from Matthew 5:14 through 16. And this is where Jesus tells us that we are the light of the world. And he goes on to say that you don't light a lamp to hide it, but we are to let our light shine so that others can see our good works and glorify God. And that's at the core of everything I do. I truly believe that we are the light of the world, and it's up to us to be able to illuminate that light. Now, the other part of that, when we're talking about my why, I believe that we are the light of the world, but I also believe that so often we hide our lights. The other passage of scripture that really is at the core or resonates with me is the parable of the talents, where Jesus is telling the parable of the talents that were given to the different servants in different capacities, right? One got five, one got three, the other got one. And it's in what Jesus says about the person who had the one talent that really it's something I keep with me because I want to always remember that whatever God has given me, I have. It's not for me to bury it. It's not for me to hide it. It's for me to sow it and to share it. And so, Let Your Light Shine is a book that, like the subtitle says, helps you to turn on your power, um, turn on your light. And throughout this, it's a guided journal experience that allows you to come back to the fact, the truth, the power that you are the light of the world. And it guides you through discovering that, to solidifying that, embracing that, and understanding the special light that God has placed on the inside of you. And not just what that light is, but why you have that, how it shows up in all the areas of your life, whether it is your successes, your accomplishments, and your achievements, or it's your mistakes and flaws, those things that you think would disqualify you from being able to share your message. You are able to see as you journey through this journal why those things perfectly position you for really having a powerful impact. And so, my heart is in this journal because it's at the core of my entire message. Whenever I'm working with a new client or anyone comes up to me and says, "Oh, I want to write a book," um, usually it's the first thing they say to me, but I've been working on it for so long. Or everybody tells me I need to share my story, but I'm not sure if this is really what I can do. Like, I don't know if my story is good enough. I don't know if I'm good enough to share the story. Well, going through this journal will reveal to you why you are good enough, and give you the courage and just help you to start moving in that direction.
It's so incredibly powerful. Like I feel like there's such a weight on this that someone may hear the word journal and not really take it seriously.
Mhm.
But I feel so much weight on it. It really, mm, it really sounds like you're helping people to see their own identity, right?
Mhm.
And see who God designed them to be
Yeah.
and their gifts and their talents. And like you said, that those are not to be wasted. We need to steward those well.
Mhm.
And man, I just felt so much. power. It was like this wave just come over me as you were sharing about that, because that is the place that we have to start, right?
Mhm.
Before we do anything, we have to come into agreement with, this is who I am. This is
Right.
who God designed me to be.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
from that place, you can go and do the things,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
But it's about being first. And it really sounds like this journal is just going to be so powerful in the hands of anyone who will pick it up and really intentionally engage with it
Mhm.
and work with it to draw out that gold that's in them, right? To
Yes.
draw out their story, draw out their identity. Oh, I'm so excited.
And you know what? That's when you say it, the journal aspect of it.
Yeah.
Um, I wanted it to be a journal because I can't reveal to you your true power.
Yeah.
That's between you and God. And I I can give you the prompts, I can give you the questions to meditate on, but this is an invitation. This book is an invitation for you to really hear from God. And so as you are writing out the answers that he's given you, then you're writing a new chapter in your story. Like you're really getting it because like I said, it's just an invitation. It's an opening for you to begin to start that journey. So yeah, I pray that people take it seriously. I pray that they see the value and the benefit of not just reading my words, but of their words that are coming straight from God through them.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so powerful to be given an invitation,
Mhm.
because I think a lot of times people don't realize they have choices. Oh my goodness. Okay. I feel like something just
Yes.
opened up here.
Yes.
Oh, that it's so empowering to people to say, I invite you to do this. Right? And then they will have to make an intentional choice to come and do the work.
Yes.
But it's God is inviting you into, through Benicia. He's saying, come work through this journal and I will show you who you are and what I have for you. Oh my goodness, that's so powerful. So, I guess my next question would be, if somebody's listening and they're like, "Well, I'm not sure, is that for me? Is that not for me?" Like, where on the journey would you say it would be best for someone to use this journal?
All along the journey. Whether you are just starting out and you have an inkling of an idea, like there's like a little tiny seed, a mustard seed, right, that God has placed in your heart, and you are struggling to figure out whether or not this is for you, right? At the very beginning or pre-beginning, right? It's also along the way. It's while you're in the middle, go to this journal. Even if you've written the answers out before, go back and read and reread and rewrite along the way to help you to keep recentering on that identity and purpose, that power that God's placed inside of you. And as you're writing your next book, if I've written um, 6 books of my own. I have been a ghostwriter for dozens and dozens of books. I've helped people publish and edit. When I sat down to write my most recent book, Let Your Light Shine, right? This journal, I needed these questions on that journey too, because it's always at your core that power that you have. And so I don't think we ever outgrow the need for reminders, for encouragement, that foundation to to keep us on track. There's so many different distractions. There's so many different things that try to get us off track of our purpose. And the enemy is really, really good at just planting a thought and letting it germinate, right? Just saying, oh, who wants to read that? And before long, it's a whole full-blown distraction, and you're in the middle of writing, and you're like, "Oh, but I don't think that works. I don't know if this is really gonna resonate. I'm not sure about," whenever you're in that spiraling phase, coming back to reclaim your power, coming back to turn that power on, plug back into the power source, right? Coming back to, um, there are journal prompts in there about um, understanding how your personality, how you are uniquely equipped to share your story, right? Coming back to those answers you wrote in that journal prompt where you are affirming and you are writing down all the reasons why. Coming back to that and reading that is powerful because it then sparks you on to keep
Yep.
going. It's a reminder. So I'd say that this journal is for you at every single stage of the process. Before you start, as you're on it, even after you have written and you're looking to write some more. Um, this is um, a powerful way for you to continue to stay plugged in to that power source.
Yes. Yes. And yes. 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 All the things. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited for this to be out in people's hands. Y'all go get your coffee. It's called Let Your Light Shine.
Yeah.
Turn on your power to impact and inspire with your story. Oh, I'm really excited about this. In case you couldn't tell. Um I just feel like I feel so much power on it. And even like you were saying, keep coming back to it.
Mhm, mhm.
Keep coming back to it. It's so important that we are reminding ourselves, this is who I am. This is what God says about me. These are my gifts. These are my talents. This is why I'm doing what I do. Like, just keep coming back to it. Keep coming back to it. And I have found in journaling things, when I go back to it, there's so much insight, not
Mhm.
just in who you are, but who you're becoming, right? When you go back and answer that same question again and you answer it just a little bit differently and you see a different facet of yourself, a different facet of your story and your message and what you have to share. So I love that. I would encourage, buy multiple copies because you're going to use this a lot of times.
Yeah. Yes, 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 definitely. And even if you're beyond the stage of writing and you're looking to speak, because right now, one of the things that I am also doing is speaking more, showing up on podcasts and on stages, because now I am taking what I've written, what God has placed inside of me, and continuing to share that message because once the story is written, it still needs to be shared, right?
Mhm.
Um, and so it helps, these same prompts help you as you continue beyond just the writing of the story, but the sharing of the story as well. Um, it's I get excited and sometimes I'm at a loss for words because of how much I know that God is working
Mm.
in our lives. And I mean, my heart gets so full of just imagining all of the people who we're going to touch, who get to have breakthroughs and who get to have hope and their lives are changed because we decided that we're not going to hide our lights anymore.
Yeah.
And I get excited about that. So I just get so excited about that because I I mean I just
Yeah.
it's just amazing to me.
Yeah.
It's so amazing.
Yeah. I mean, it's that ripple effect,
Yes.
right? That it just keeps growing and growing and growing and growing. I know so often we can believe that lie that I can't really have an impact. And it's just so not true, that's a lie the enemy uses because he knows of the ripple effect. He knows if you touch one and then they touch two and then those two take, it multiplies, right? God math multiplies.
I like that God math. Yes. Yes.
It's not addition, we're not subtracting, we are multiplying. Like it's just exponential the impact you can have in just sharing your story. It's so incredible. So I want to encourage y'all, get this book, Let Your Light Shine. It's available on Amazon. I know that people are also going to want to connect with you. So share how they can connect with you. What's the best way to get in Benecia's world?
Ooh, so inspirationalauthors.com. That's my website. You'll see the resources I have there. I have a blog there. There's also a way to schedule a consultation with me. On social media, on Instagram, I am Benecia Ponder at Benecia Ponder. Um, we have a Facebook page for Inspirational Authors as well. Um, but yeah, those are the ways. Those are the ways to connect with me. And then our Inspirational Authors YouTube channel, where I share different trainings and different messages and things of that nature.
Awesome. Yes. And I will absolutely have all the links to all the places will be in the description of the video. So y'all go and check that out. Benicia, thank you so much for being with us. It has just been such a joy and a pleasure. And I'm so excited about this book.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for tuning in today. If you want to learn more about me or any of my guests, all of the links are in the description below the video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and share it on all your social pages. Until next time, remember that you have the power to multiply life